Hi, everyone. We are here with Kevin Hunter to get to know a little bit of our board, and he is our Vice Chair of Communications and Marketing. So welcome, Kevin.
Hey, good to be here.
Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what led you to Global Heart and being on our board.
Right, yeah. So previously, I was 25 years in enterprise software sales. Recently have left the corporate world, if you will, started my own real estate company. So very excited about that and the opportunities it gives me to kind of be an entrepreneur and kind of create my own future versus kind of being reliant on others. A little bit more freedom, right? I kind of have a marketing kind of geek side, so I get to not only kind of do the taking care of the customer part, but I also get to be part of my own lead generation, reaching out to people, branding and stuff like that. So that's really exciting for me. And real estate has so many different vehicles to generate wealth, not only for now, but in the future. And that's really what I wanted to do, was get into opportunity that allowed me to not only take care of my family now, but kind of leave some legacies behind for our daughter. So, one of the other things I wanted to do was just be able to carve out a little bit more personal time, right? Because real estate is really a 24/7 kind of business, but be intentional about carving out time kind of for my spiritual side. Right. So I was born again about 18 years ago when I met my wife, and that was kind of an amazing journey. God just reached out, kind of tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, well, I wasn't expecting you, but very, very just amazing transformation, right? Because I've always been spiritual. I've always felt like I've kind of been in touch, but not really committed. And then there's some really undeniable activities that happened while I was dating my wife that I was like, okay, you're a complete goof if you don't see these signs and you don't see how he's working in your life. So based on that, my faith has grown every single year. And last year, when I was making the decision to leave the corporate world and get into my own kind of business, I said, if you're going to do that, what's important to you, right? So you kind of build your roadmap and you kind of set up, okay, I'm going to kind of allow X amount of time for this and X amount of time for that. And I said, I really want to kind of carve out some time to dedicate to building his kingdom. So not only with dedicating my time, but some of my finances as well, right? Because we've always been good about tithing and all that, but I wanted to kind of supersize it, right? I wanted to accelerate that piece of it. I really wanted to be involved with an organization that was truly having a global impact, right? Where does my money get the best bang for its buck, right? And so in my men's Bible study, started having conversations, and someone told me about Global Heart Ministries. So we started, they became my favorite charity, and just being more and more involved, getting to know Steve. He's such an amazing individual before you get to know him, who he is, leading the Global Heart Ministry piece. Just getting to understand the impact, right? The ability to if people are searching for the word, that this organization presents it. It's out there, and if they're looking for it, they can find it. We can support them, and you're basically giving somebody the gift of eternal life, right? And what can you do on this planet that matches that, right?
Absolutely.
I can try and be the best husband I can be. I can try and be the best dad I can be, but if you're part of an organization that is helping people find Christ, then wow, there's nothing you can do that's bigger on this planet, right? And so the more I became involved, they asked me, hey, what do you think about being on the board? It was an obvious yes, right? If I could be part of the team, if I could contribute in some way to help spread the word about the value that Global Heart Ministries is bringing to his kingdom, that was a real no-brainer for me. So it was like kind of literally the last 18 years, my journey in my faith grew every single year, went into men's Bible study, and then from there being introduced to Global Hearts Ministries and Steve, and then now being on the board and really kind of helping evangelize our efforts here in transforming nations, right? Really reaching out to people who don't get exposed to Jesus and the word and the kingdom, and being able to be a big part of that. It's just, it just blows my mind. So I feel so blessed to be here, be part of Steve and you and the rest of the team. And I'm really just enjoying kind of the season of my life, right, where I get to focus on my own business, and I get to carve out as much time as I want to kind of the faith piece and building the kingdom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you had to give an elevator pitch, if you will, about Global Heart, someone doesn't know what we do, what do you tell them?
Well, I tell them that there's people all over the world, and we're obviously focused on Central Asia, but there's people all over the world who are looking for Christ, right? They've had a dream or they've had an experience. They just like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? And you want to be able to start, those people want to be able to look somewhere and find, someone that can support that knowledge, that curiosity. That's what we do. We present that message, and, we can help support them locally, as well as kind of, just starting off by giving people Bibles, right? And letting them read the word, and then letting it move them as they're so inspired, right? So we, on the elevator, I'm going up what it was Global Heart Ministry does. It transforms nations by allowing people who are interested in learning more about Jesus Christ. We give them that information, right? And we support that movement. One of the things about Global Heart Ministries I love is our, what is that called? The Gala. One of the things
Connecting Hearts Gala.
Yeah, the Connecting Hearts Gala, whether it's out in Tyler, whether it's here in Dallas in March, the speakers that we have, the event itself is so cool. Just like-minded people getting together, right, and just and raising money to really help further this initiative. I invited a ton of people. My wife and I obviously attended, and it was, it's one of those things you just drive home and you're just kind of blown away. You're like, wow, that was amazing, right? It was such a special night. And then going out to Tyler, which I don't know why, but Tyler has a little special place in my heart, right? I know some people out there. I've done business out there, and to be able to have the gala out there, and it's also out in the country, right? So it's a different mindset, it's a different kind of people. And I grew up in Aledo, Texas, and I grew up, it was much different than it is now, right? So it was
rural.
Aledo, Texas was rural.
Yeah.
And I feel at home in the country, right? Our house had 2.5 acres of land, so our dog could run around, and you didn't lock your doors, right? You just kind of existed. So being out in Tyler, I feel like it feels like home to me. So I love meeting the people. That was a really special night a couple months ago, and then I look forward to having the gala here in Plano.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good time as well.
March 23rd.
What's going to be here before we know it?
And we have Kevin Sorbo as our keynote speaker. Did you know that?
I did know that. I didn't know if we were allowed to say that.
Yeah,
but,
we can say it.
I've been a fan of his for
big
forever.
old movie star.
Yeah, big movie star. And then as soon as you guys said, hey, we're going to be able to get him, I looked on all my social media, and I'm already following him, right? So he's one of those people who has a voice that I kind of resonate with. And so it's amazing that he's going to be here. I'm still shocked.
I know.
Come see us, little Global Heart Ministries out in Plano, Texas.
I know.
But he has a great voice and a great passion.
And our theme is going to be, it's a movie premiere. So now showing Connecting Hearts Gala. And the tagline will be canceled by the culture. Because, and Kevin will tell his story about he was really kind of canceled by Hollywood because of his conservative Christian values. And he'll connect the dots with how once you leave Islam in the countries where we're working, you are canceled by your culture.
Yeah.
Families say you're out. And so it'll be really interesting to hear him talk about that.
Yeah. Big fan of his, but you see others like Mark Wahlberg, right? Chris Pratt. Yeah. So you see, finally, I think people are just like, you know what? And this is kind of how I was when I left the corporate world. I was like, I'm tired of suppressing who I am. Tired of suppressing who I am as a Christian. And people say, well, be bold, right? Well, it's not always easy to be bold, right? And so it's nice to see others who are being bold in their actions, in their speech, and as just kind of common individuals, commonplace people. It gives you the courage to kind of reach out and say, you know what? this is all good stuff, right? I'm not looking down on anybody, right? Because I'm a Christian and they're not, or they don't have a strong faith. My job is to be the best version of me that I can be, and hopefully draw them in, right? And say, oh, wow, if Kevin's a Christian, it must be a pretty cool thing, right? And so welcoming those people in to learn more and see if it's a good fit for them, right? And so when you have other, big Hollywood names in a culture that is not traditionally embracing Christianity or religion, it's nice to see others kind of stand up, because it helps you be a little bit more bold in your day-to-day endeavors as well.
Yep.
So I'm super glad to see him up there. I can't wait to meet him. Like I said, I follow him on Instagram and everything else, and like all his stuff. So it'll be good to meet him in person.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin.
Yeah, my
You
pleasure.
are my personal favorite board member.
Oh,
Don't tell everyone else.